is the top 16 people per division get to go. But because it's a qualification process, they take only the ones who qualify. So in the Pan American region, because I'm from in the U.S., so it's us, Mexico, Brazil, all the South American countries, they only take 2. And then from Asia, they take 2, and then Africa, they take 1, and Oceanic, they take 1. So the best 16 come, and they fight. So it's not so many fights, but the pressure of each match is so high because every single match is so important. Unlike, you know, an open or something, you might start with someone who's not as experienced or not as strong or not as fast. For when you go for the Olympics, every single person you stand in front of is good. So it's a lot more pressure for each match. So, but only 3 matches.
Only, I mean, it's really hard.
Yes. Anybody else? No question? Yes, go.
Why can you like Taekwondo?
Why do I like Taekwondo? I like Taekwondo because it gives me a chance to challenge myself, and it's unlike a lot of other sports. I think our sport is very versatile with a lot of variety. Like, it doesn't matter what we're doing. We can do the same kicks every single day, but somehow, some way, we always find a way to change it or to make it a little different. Or some days we kick like this, or we step like this, or we react like this. And especially with sparring, think about it. If you two spar every single day it'll be different, right? Some days you'll win, some days he'll win, some days he'll do something good, you'll do something good, some days both you'll be amazing. But I think our sport allows us to have such a variety of experiences, either good, bad, okay, sad, but a lot of chances to experience a lot of different things. And it also, for me personally, the best part was when I started and I was allowed to travel a lot. So I get to come places like here and teach Taekwondo and do Taekwondo and see all you guys. A lot of other sports, they don't get a chance to interact so closely. You know, like basketball teams, they travel around, they play basketball, they go home. I think we have a very close-knit community, and it's a lot more fun for me that way. Yes, sir.
What's your weight class when you fight?
Weight class, 68, negative 68, featherweight. So, yes. Yes, sir.
I have 2 questions. How
Yes,
many medals have you, and how many years have you go to Taekwondo?
I started Taekwondo when I was 12 years old, and how old do you think I am? Be nice?
22?
16?
I like that. How old?
22?
No.
28?
Yes. Good. Yes, sir. Yes, 28. A very young 28, so more like 21. As far as medals, I honestly can't tell you. I've been competing since I was 13 years old. So I've been to a lot of different competitions, a lot of different fights. So I can't really say a solid number, but think about for 16 years I've been almost competing. So a lot of different medals here and there. Some more important than others, but a lot of competition, a lot of fights.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
When did you start to prepare for the Olympics? Before?
When I was 13. No. Honestly, our selection process started in 2010.
Okay.
So from 2010 until the summer of 2012, well, actually the beginning of 2012, I wasn't officially on the team. So I won the qualification process in 2010, and then right before the Olympics, pretty much the beginning of the year in 2012, is when I officially was on a team. So to be honest, roughly about a year and a half to 2 years of just the process of building and training and trying to get there. So it's kind of hard to say I was training for it because I technically wasn't on the team until the beginning.
You knew where you were going. So.
I knew that was the goal, yeah. So let's say 2010.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
When do you go to the World Championship?
If I go to World Championships, it'll be next year in, I'm not sure what month, May or June or July, but we have to still, for us in the U.S., we have to qualify still. So in March, we'll have a team trials where all the best people in the U.S. come and fight, and the person who wins gets to represent the U.S. at the World Championships. But I've been to, as of right now, I've been to 2 World Championships, and both, I haven't got a medal yet. So this time will be the time. Anyone? I like this guy. He has no questions.
Okay. For all while they will get your black belt, and
What was the first one?
when
How old were I? Okay.
Okay, and are the Olympia better in the World Championship?
That's a good question. That's a tough question. I got my black belt when I was maybe 13, turning 14. So I got my black belt really fast. But my old coach, he had a competition team, so we started competing really early. So I think when I was a blue belt maybe, I started fighting black belt competitions because for us where we were, there wasn't so many people, so he wanted us to have more experience, get a chance to fight harder people and stuff like that. As far as the Olympics and the World Championships, to say one is harder, I can't really say. I believe that the amount of pressure at both is tremendous. The number of fights that you may have at a World Championship is almost double at the Olympics. So you may have 6 fights at World Championships, and the max you can have at Olympics is 4. But at the World Championships, you have all the countries, because it's not it's invitation, so everybody can come. So you may have some people that are just okay, and then later on in the day they get better and they get better and they get better. So the process of a World Championship will still, to me, will be the hardest tournament, because you start 1 match, 2 match, 3 match, 4 match, 5 match, and it only gets increasingly harder. For the Olympics, like I was telling him, you know that everybody's going to be good, but you know who you're going to fight. So it'll be, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know at the Olympics I have a chance maybe to fight you, and you. At the World Championships, you don't know. You can fight anybody from anywhere, the first match, the second match, or the third match. So I think both of them have their difficulties, so it's very hard to say which one is harder, but I believe for the longer day and the more grind is probably the World Championships. And it's still probably going to be the most prestigious medal to have, to be the world champion. Along with, of course, the Olympic gold medalist and his Olympic bronze medalist, but the World Championship just holds this stigma for the fighter, because it just means that that day you completely beat the entire field. So, yes, sir.
Why is there only one person from a country to represent the World Championship?
Yes, only one person per country.
Why?
Imagine if you bring, say you're from Denmark and you bring 40 people, and I'm from US and we bring 40 people. It's a kumite. We fight all day until someone falls apart, just falls asleep. For each division has one person representing their country. You gotta think. Let's say my division last World Championships, I think it was close to about 85 to like 90 people, or 75 to 85 people. And that's one person from everywhere. So they have to limit the number of people who can come in and compete, because if not, there's no way that they'd be able to finish. You'd fight for a week straight and you still wouldn't be done.
A lot of countries.
A lot of countries. And I think and to be honest with you, it holds some stature to say that you're the best from the US or the best from Denmark and you go compete for your country at the World Championships. It would be a little bit, I think, unfair to bring everybody, you know? Yes, sir.
Do you train Taekwondo full time, or do you have another job? Or?
Currently, since 2012 or since 2010, I've been training Taekwondo full time. Before that, I did have a job and I was going to school and stuff. But once the Olympic process started, I kind of focused in on that. And kind of my goal is to return to the Olympics one more time. So right now, I'm doing Taekwondo full time, meaning I train 2 to 3 times a day, depending on the situation, or depending on how close we are to a competition or how far we are away.
Who pays you?
The United States Olympic Committee, they fund my training, so they give me money to train and to live, just so that I can try to prepare to make the next Olympics. And it's weird because it's not even guaranteed, but at the same time they're almost investing so that we can try to get back to that same level and compete and hopefully medal again. I don't think any girls asked any questions. No, one girl. One girl has to ask a question. Come on, yes, there we go.
Where did you used to come from?
I'm originally from Washington D.C., the capital, but I've been living in Miami for total about 5.5 years. So I trained with Coach Moreno in Miami, Florida. I like Florida better than Virginia. Well, I'm from Virginia, so it's like it gets cold there, like here. Miami is always sun and sand and beach, so it's better for me. Yes.
The Taekwondo club you train in, is there many good fighters in?
Yes, I train in, and like I said, in Miami, Florida with Coach Moreno. There's a lot of good fighters. At our club, at one point, we had 8 or 9 national team members. Remember how you asked me, can everybody go? Well, the guys that I train with, there was 9 of us total that were on the U.S. national team. So that means we went to the competition, and those 9 people beat everyone else in the nation that was in their division to make the national team to go to the World Championships. So we have a lot of good fighters, a lot of experienced fighters. We have a lot of kids your age as well who are very good and train. They train right alongside us and do the same thing as us. So we're very fortunate to have a lot of people who compete at that level. Yes, ma'am.
How does the future come for you? What's your plans? How long does it seem to be with Taekwondo?
Well, as far as competing right now, everything's focused on 2016. I think a lot of people in Taekwondo now, we live in what they call like a quad, which is 4 years, because every 4 years is the Olympics. So right now, my goal personally is to make it back to the Olympics and hopefully medal again. After that, I'll be 30. After that, I'm not 30 soon. After that, I'm not really sure, because I mean, for me, like I said, it's easy to think in 4-year periods. So right now, I'm just focusing on that. We'll see, depending on the situation or how it fares or how it goes. You know, maybe I compete for another 4 years. But the thing is, for me, I decide either 4 years or no years, because the process is so long. You have to kind of like start and finish it. And once I am done competing, I want to open a Taekwondo school and coach. So for me, my life will always be Taekwondo. That's just kind of like what I wanted to do since I started training myself. I like the feeling it is to like be able to come and help and teach and watch everyone progress and grow in our sports. I think, like I said, we have such a unique sport, and we have a chance to always give back to other people. So for me, that's like the biggest reward of anything. Yes, sir.
Are you teaching classes or only yourself? Or?
In Miami right now, like I'm full-time training. I do some private lessons and stuff like that, and then when I travel, I do some seminars and training seminars like in other different states in the U.S. But mostly it's just focused on me a bit. It's become hard for me to actually get out and do private lessons and do trainings because of our competition schedule has increased so much. I mean, this week, last weekend, I was in Ukraine. Next weekend, I'm fighting in Serbia. And then the weekend after that, I'm fighting in Manchester.
Okay.
And then I'll go back to Miami. So we'll take a couple more, because I think, yes.
I train Taekwondo all days or 5 days?
Monday through Saturday are the days I work. On Sunday, I take off and I watch American football like this. But Monday through Saturday, we train some days 2 times, some days 3 times, some days just once, depending on, like I said, how close we are from our competition. Yes. Come on, have one.
Come on.
What's your biggest dream? Your biggest dream?
My biggest dream, honestly, is to win an Olympic gold medal. Last time I got bronze, I would love to win an Olympic gold medal, because at the Olympics, when you win, they play your country's national anthem. So that to me would be that's one of my biggest dreams, to be on the Olympic stage, on an Olympic podium, and hear my national anthem played. That'll be the most rewarding thing, and it'll be worth all the years of training and traveling for me.
Just one more.
Yes,
How
last one.
late is too late for Taekwondo?
How late is too late is Taekwondo? Again, we're a very, very privileged sport that there's no age limit on our sport. That's another thing that I think is very unique about what we do. I can't say there's any age that's too late for Taekwondo. If you have the passion, you have the drive, you have the will, then it's possible. You have one more?
Do you
No.
like football?
Do I like football? Soccer or American football?
Soccer.
Soccer. I love soccer.
That's
World Cup is the funnest time of the year for me. I love every 2 years. I love World Cup. Who's your favorite team?
I don't know.
Ecuador?
Who's my favorite team? You guess? I'll do 1,000,000 push-ups.
Manchester City.
No.
No.
Barca?
No. No more guesses. I don't want to do 1,000,000.
Red Bull.
Red Bull? No. I'm Germany. Actually, because most of the time I watch the soccer is for the World Cup. So, anyways.
What about the other football?
American football?
Yes.
Yes, I love American football. My team is the Dallas Cowboys.
What about basketball?
Basketball, my team is Miami Heat. Even though LeBron leaves and goes to Cleveland, that's another story.